Okay, if you haven't already seen videos where I take you through exam questions, do have a look at them. They are going to be useful for your exam, but basically what I do is I take questions like you can see on the screen at the minute, which are from the sample assessment materials, twist them so that they fit whatever it is that we're looking at. In this case, it's going to be Pokemon Go, so that you guys can have a go at practicing them at home, and also so that we can get an idea of what might be asked of you. So in terms of this one then, we're going to start off with naming the organisation that regulates games in Britain. 3+ is an example of an age certification used in the UK. Give 2 other examples of age certificates. Briefly explain the difference between the colour coding age categories, and explain why a product might be given a 3+ age rating, referring to Pokemon Go, to support our points. So let's have a go at this then. Starting off with, the organisation that regulates games in Britain is PEGIE. So in terms of our mark scheme here, it's literally, have you got it correct? Haven't you got it correct? 3+ is an example of age certificates used in the UK. Give 2 other examples of age certificates that could be used in the UK. So here, we're going to go for 12 and 18. Again, you need to give 2, but you would get 1 mark for each correct answer. So in this case, we get both. We need to explain the difference between the colour coding on the age categories. So although it's still 2 marks, you need to give a little bit more information here. PEGIE uses colour coding guides to advise their audiences. These act a lot like traffic lights. For example, 3+ and 7+ are colour coded green to indicate they're family friendly and do not contain material that would be unsuitable to a large and varied audience. On the other hand, 18+ is coloured red, which indicates that it's unsuitable for a wide audience. The red colour can symbolise the level of violence and aggression within a game, as it is a colour commonly associated with a warning. Probably given too much information there, but you do have time to give this level of detail if you want to within your exams. You basically get 2 marks for a valid explanation that covers both age certificates, or in this case, that would cover more than one colour-coded age category, okay, which is why we would get the marks here. Alright, now question 3D is longer. It's worth 12 marks, so it's not as large as some of the questions that we've tackled before. We do still have those recognisable terms appearing throughout all of those mark schemes, and again, if you only give a basic level of detail, or you only give a basic explanation, you're only going to get basic marks. So it's sort of down to you to get into those top bands, but it's achievable. You can do it, okay? So explain why a product might be given a 3+ age rating, refer to Pokemon Go to support our points. PEGIE uses content descriptors to help create their age ratings. The more content descriptors that a game has, the higher the age rating is likely to be. For example, Pokemon Go only has 3+ rating. This is likely due to the fact that it only has 1 content descriptor in-app purchases. The content descriptors can give a good indication to an audience as to what is included in games. Other content descriptors include violence, fear, drugs, and sex. Inclusion of these content descriptors are likely to increase the age rating that is allocated to a game. Have I given an excellent, detailed and accurate knowledge of regulation in the games industry? Yes. Ooh, I've also used subject terminology. I'm going to leave it down to you to decide whether or not I've given reference to the set product. I think I have hit that top bullet point, but you guys can decide. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think. Alright, so component 1, section B then. Which radio station broadcasts The Archers? We're going to change that to which company produces Pokemon Go, or produced Pokemon Go. Identify one audience for Pokemon Go, and then explain 2 ways in which Pokemon Go is aimed at the audience we have identified. Finally, explain why audiences play video games such as Pokemon Go, and refer to the uses and gratification theory in our response. Which company produced Pokemon Go? Niantic. Again, right or not? Yes. Identify one audience for Pokemon Go. So here we're going to say 30 to 50 B2D women who are considered mainstreamers or resigned on the 4C system. Not necessarily the audience you might initially jump to, so do take time to think about what you're going to put down, because question 4C features this answer. So we need to think about this one before we just dive straight in. You get a mark for any part of this that is valid, but as I've said in a previous video, it's useful for you guys to get into the habit of breaking your audiences down into detail like I've done here, because it's not going to cost you anything to give that extra detail, but if you miss it out, you might miss out on marks. Okay. Alright, so 4C then, it's got a slightly larger or chunkier mark scheme, which is why I've not cut it and put it onto the video as is. Let's have a look at these two ways then. Now specifically we're talking about the audience that we have identified in 4B. If you don't refer to the same audience, you won't get any marks for 4C. Okay, so it's worthwhile pointing that out now. One way that Pokemon Go is aimed at the identified audience is through the fact that the game used the original generation of Pokemon. This original generation would appeal to the original audience who had grown up with the game. Another reason that it was applicable to this audience was through the type of technology that was used. The audience are likely to use their phone for other applications, which means that they're more likely to pick up new apps and games. Okay, so I think here you get 2 marks for each valid explanation, which is why I would split it into 2 paragraphs. So you get 2 marks for one, 2 marks for another. And I think here I have given enough to get both marks. But if you disagree or you have any questions, again, pop it in the comments so we can start a discussion and share it amongst ourselves. Alright, 4D then, a similar mark scheme to what we've seen before, same sort of language used to distinguish between each band. Let's have a look. So explain why audiences play video games such as Pokemon Go, refer to the uses and gratifications theory in our response. One primary reason why audiences play video games is in order to be entertaining, as suggested by Bloomlet and Katz. This entertainment can be gained in a variety of ways. For example, it can provide escape from daily life. In Pokemon Go, this can be seen when the audience are actively involved catching Pokemon and trying to complete the set. It can also be seen through the battles that Pokemon go through, as there is no relevance to this in day-to-day life. However, Pokemon Go has the advantage of included augmented reality. This would provide entertainment as it makes the audience experience more personal. The merging of real world and gameplay means that demographics have settings and experiences that they can relate to their day-to-day life with. They can also share images of their real world gameplay with friends and other users, making the game a social talking point amongst the community. Have I given a detailed and highly accurate reference to uses and gratifications theory? Yes. Have I given excellent, thorough understanding of audiences? Yes. Okay. And have I given a detailed and accurate knowledge of audiences in relation to the set product? Yeah, I think I have. Okay. So if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the button down below. If you hit the little bell icon next to it, you get instant notifications every time I post a new video. There are some key terms here for you guys to use, but if you need to ask me about any of them, pop a comment in the comments section below or get in touch with me through Twitter at media_revision. And I'll see you guys later for another video.